Here's Warwick Castle. Peaceful, beautiful, dripping with history. When I toured it in the late 70s, I was reminded that the castle's name is pronounced Warwick. But the castle has a dark secret. Well, it's not a secret, but it's exceptionally dark. Like many medieval castles, Warwick has a dungeon. A regular rat-infested and smelly and cold and damp dungeon. Not good enough. Warwick has a special dungeon. Sure, it has a regular dungeon, but why stop there? The Warwick Castle Oubliette, a separate dungeon situated in the floor underneath the dungeon. There was some pretty chilling thought that went into this small room. Warwick's Oubliette as a whole, covered with an iron grate that is so small that a person can't really even stand in it. Certainly not lie down or sit. A partial crouch is about the best you could get. It's dug into the floor of the actual dungeon with all of the associated drainage and plumbing issues that come as part and parcel of a medieval castle. That's your front door if you happen to be unlucky enough to be incarcerated there. It's bad enough to be stuffed into a hole, but this has something extra. The floor of the regular dungeon is sloped so that much of the drainage flows there. This is one of several rooms designed during the Spanish Civil War to keep prisoners ready to be interrogated. The bricks are cemented to the floor in a zigzag pattern, designed to hinder any walking or sitting. The concrete beds are placed at an angle, making it impossible for prisoners to lie down without sliding off. Other furniture includes geometrical drawings, a clock running at a faster speed, a lamp always on, and patterns of several noises played once and again. All this seemed to get the desired cooperation of the prisoner, as well as the use of other more physical convincing tools. This is the brainchild of Alfonso Lorenzsec, a libertarian, dissident communist, and French mainstream Socialist Union's member. He was a former musician who earned his living by selling fake passports when he started to collaborate with some factions of the Republican Intelligence Service. While checas or cells used in the Civil War for interrogation purposes were almost in every main city like Madrid, Barcelona or Valencia, those special cells designed by Lorenzsec were just a few, or, at least, a few have just survived. Currently, those cells are considered an expression of modern art, and as such copies can be seen or bought in museums and art galleries. For a room to be chilling by design, the room itself should be a part of the torture. Not just a room with torturing implements. The most chilling room ever designed is one that keeps getting smaller until the occupant is crushed to death. In an Indiana Jones movie, there is a room inside an old pyramid in which the ceiling was actually a giant slab of rock. It fit perfectly inside the walls of a room with less than an inch to spare between the slab and the walls. The victim would be trapped inside the room and the slab would be lowered until the victim was crushed. I don't know if one of those rooms ever actually existed, but they give me the creeps in the movies and in my nightmares. Being confined and crushed to death is chilling. I would rather be in a torture chamber than in a room that gets smaller till I am crushed like a bug. The most chilling room ever designed that has actually been built is a room designed for white torture. This is especially scary to me. I have to keep my brain busy every waking moment. I have experimented with sensory deprivation for a sustained session. But to be confined in a white room for an extended period would be bad news for me. I need my mobility and a way to express this flux of creative energy. Isolation, sensory deprivation, and the loss of self-identity would be worse than torture.